and welcome back to the channel. This is Rideshare Buddy UK and my name's Kevin, and I picked up another late job last night from OTS. Normally I wouldn't do this job because these very long jobs that OTS pay for don't have very good mileage rate, but Uber is so bad at the moment I thought I'd take it. It's a good one. It's from Roach in Cardiff down to Gatwick Airport. It's paying about £180, so not a great amount of money. Mileage wise, it's about 160 to 170 miles. I have 70% charge and 121 miles. It's going to be a close one today. I'm going to go and see if I can charge up at BP at the Holiday Inn Express down in Dufferin. If that space is available, I'll charge up there to 90%. I'll need at least 90%. And we'll see how much mileage we've got. I may need to have to stop on way. I'm hoping these are not going to be elderly customers who wants to have the heater turned up, because that will mean I will definitely have to stop on the way to do a charge on. We have an amber weather warning again. For freezing rain and icy conditions in South Wales, so it is cold. We are currently at -3, so we may see how quickly we can charge up this car at minus sub-zero temperatures if we can get in. If I can't get in at the BP at Holiday Inn, then I'm going to have to go down to the MFG on Cardiff Road, which is 79p a kilowatt hour, so very expensive. It will take a big chunk out of my profits, but there you go. But just waiting for the defrost. But I've done this because Monday I went out on Uber, only made about £8-9 an hour before expenses. Was not good. I did that trip out from down to the hospital at Westbury on Tuesday. Now, I had thought I was going to get Bristol back, but that got cancelled, so that's cut me down a little bit on finances. Today I'm going to do this one down to Gatwick. Tomorrow I've got my own work, Friday, going from Cardiff to Bristol Airport. Whether I'll stay out after that, I don't know, I doubt it. And on Saturday I've got my own work from Swansea to Cardiff Airport. So I've covered my costs, I made a little bit of money. But it's that time of year where you're just lucky and thankful if you just cover your costs, really. So I'm clear. It's taken about 3 minutes to clear up the windows. Let's switch that demister off, go to auto. I'm running at 20 degrees C on auto, 70%, 130 miles. Let's see what we get when we charge up to 90. Okay, one of the things I've just noticed, I've been out, I'm doing 1.3 miles per kilowatt hour. This is not looking good. It's -2, and I've just tried to use my washers, and they're frozen. If you've been in a petrol car or a diesel car, after you've been running the engine for a while, the engine compartment warms up. If your washer bottle is frozen, it will defrost and go back to liquid. You have no engine in an EV, which means that once your washer fluid bottle has frozen up, that's it for the day. And I've got a lot of motorway driving to do today, and I've got no washers. That's another big negative about having an EV. And I did buy ready mixed winter washer fluid, so it should have been okay, but obviously it's not. Maybe we're in the frost pocket or something. But -2 should be still -2 winter washer fluid should, but obviously not. So this is going to be a tough one today if I've got no washer fluid. I've also decided not to use the BP. It is just solid traffic all through Newport and out that way, and the time's 20 to 9, so it's taken me 40 minutes to do 1.2 miles because the traffic's that bad. So I'm going to go down to the MFG. Just going to have to suck up the extra cost. Then the 300 kilowatt chargers, but 79p, they're not cheap. Yet financially, during the winter, using an EV as a taxi is not good. You lose great chunks of your profit, mainly because you just don't get the range, so you're always constantly filling up. It's very difficult to get onto cheap chargers. Well, there are no cheap chargers, particularly in Wales, unless you can get on Tesla or something like that. But if it's not convenient, and sometimes it isn't because it's so slow charging in these sort of temperatures, you have to spend on the extra money from the other fast chargers, so 79p instead of 39p. Doubles your fuel costs just on charging, doubles your time for charging times, and halves your range almost. You lose about 30 to 40% in range. So your fuel costs effectively go more than doubles during the winter, cold winter months. And financially that can have a real big impact. So EVs at the moment are not ready to be used as a taxi during the winter months. Sorry, those are the facts. You may be an EV evangelist. You may have a semi-detached house packed full of solar panels that you can charge from home. Most EV drivers, so most private hire drivers don't. Most private hire drivers are like me, are going to have to foot the bill for this move to EVs. And the EV technology and the EV infrastructure just is not there yet. The costs are just so high during those cold winter months. I'm just saying it as the reality is. I've got no agenda to push. I'd quite like to have an EV, but financially it just doesn't make sense at the moment. Okay, so we plugged in 63%, looking at 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour. This is what happens when it goes sub-zero. Low at 0 degrees. Charging rate on a 150 kilowatt charger. That's the MFG kilowatt charger at this sort of temperature is 38 kilowatts. So I had hoped to try and get up to 100%. I'm not going to be able to do that. 1 hour 15 minutes. It's 9:05. It's taken over an hour to get into Cardiff this morning. 23 minutes. Fortunately, I'm only about 15 minutes away from the pickup, so I'm not even sure I'm going to have enough charge at 80%. I don't think I'm going to be able to put enough charge on to do the job in one run. So I'm going to have to hope I can talk them into having a 15-20 minute break on the way there. But we'll see what happens. I'll give it to 20 to 10. Maybe turn up a little bit late if I have to. I need at least 200 miles on the clock. It's 175. I need 25 miles spare. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it or not. Not a good user experience at these pumps. It didn't accept the Octoverse card. It wouldn't fire off. Unlocked the charger, but it wouldn't fire off. So I had to use the. Fortunately, the RFID card worked. But after 5 minutes, it kicked me off, so I've just had to restart it all again. And then we're coming in at 33 kilowatts, even slower than before. This is not turning into a very good day at all. It's just one of those things you have to cope with when you have an EV. Yeah, winters on an EVs do not mix very well. I've just looked up the address, the pickup address on Google Maps. Fortunately, I'm only 3 minutes away, so I can stay here till 10 to 10, I hope. And that's going to give me 50 minutes charging. I should hit 90%. I hope I hit 90%. Because I need a minimum of 200 miles, preferably more if I can. It's 174 miles. According to Google Maps, from the pickup down to to Gatwick Airport, and I'd like to have about 10-15 miles to spare. Well, probably a lot more than that if I can, in case the temperatures drop even further and my efficiency drops. And hopefully the passengers will not ask for the heater to go up higher. I'm at 20 degrees auto. Any higher than that, it's going to chew into my range big time. So hopefully that's not going to be an option. Now, I would quite like to go into the shop or the garage next door and get a coffee and something to eat, a bit of breakfast. But I don't trust leaving this car unattended for that long in case the charger kicks me off again, and that will cause me real problems. Do I live life on the edge and go and get a coffee and risk having the charger disconnect, or do I just sit put and wait? Yeah, decisions. Right, the first bit of good news for the day. My washers have started working again. Temperature's gone up over 0, so there must have been a little bit of ice on the top, and that's melted away now. So we have washers, which is the first bit of good news of today so far. And hopefully it's going to be the first of a lot of bits of good news. Okay, it's 9:45, so I'm making a move now. I've got it up to 91%. That gives me 246 miles, which you think is more than enough, but let's just switch a heater on. Auto, 20 degrees, and I'm down to 184. That's 10 miles spare. I'm praying that I don't want the heater turned up even more. I'm going to have to hope I can get that efficiency up from 2.5 to about 3. So that's the only way I'm going to make it. I'm going to suggest to them that we take a 15-minute comfort break at Reading. And that's going to give me enough time to get about 20 miles spare put onto the clock. If they want to take a 15-20 minute break, that would be perfect. And it'll just give me that little bit of extra leeway. But it does show when we head down to sub-zero temperatures, I've very nearly said it, but I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to say you get very frustrated. Another thing is I've spent an hour here and there's no toilets at this charging station, which is the MFG on Newport Road in Cardiff. Okay, it's 10 past 2 and I've just dropped off. Fortunately, we had a short break on the way. The lady who's on her way to Mauritius, of all places, was more than happy to have a 20-minute break at Reading Services. So I had a coffee and a cigarette break and I needed the loo, so we stopped there for 20 minutes. I managed to put on about 60 miles in a quick charge at the grid serve there. I could have made it back to I could have made it down to Gatwick with about 20 miles to spare if I had enough charged up. I've got my efficiency up to 3.2 miles per kilowatt, but I've managed to top up. So at the moment I've just dropped off at Gatwick. I've got 37%, 93 miles in the charge, and I'm going to try and make it back to Reading. And at Reading I'll probably use a BB Pulse at 49p, which is going to be about the cheapest one to do a charge up to get me home. That grid serve was 79 pence charge. The MFG was a 79 pence charge. So I've had a big chunk of my profits taken in access fuel costs today because I couldn't charge up anywhere cheaper. I think Tesla at Reading is for 52 pence during the daytime. BP with my Uber discount, which is why it's always worth staying with Uber just to get your BP EV charging discount, is 49 pence. So not as cheap as the Tesla off-peak, not as cheap as Ionity, but a damn sight cheaper than MFG and GridServe, which I've had to use this morning. So I'll see you at BP Pulse. Okay, so we've made it to the BP Pulse at Reading Services. 10% left, 25 miles to spare. It's 3:30. So let's get plugged in, and then I can go and claim my half-price coffee and get something to eat. Well, I did try at the BP, but it wasn't working. They weren't recognising or connecting up. So I've come round to the Tesla. So I'm being charged at 45p a kilowatt hour, which is okay, a little bit cheaper than BP. Speed-wise, I'm at 66. It's never going to go above 98 with the Ioniq 5 because of the 800-volt system. But 49 minutes, 11%, and the temperature is 4 degrees C. I've been able to improve my efficiency up to 3.4 miles per kilowatt. So that's a little bit better than it was this morning, where it was really quite a concern. But let's have a quick look at how much I was paying per mile earlier. So I was charged 79p a kilowatt hour at both GridServe and MFG. Divide that by 3.2, which is what I was averaging this morning. 24.68, so cut it 25 pence a mile. Ouch. That's not good. It goes to show that at the moment, financially, prices are way too high on public chargers. If you can't get into a Tesla or if you can't get into an Ionity, it just really eats away at your mileage charges. Yeah, 25p a mile is not good at all. So cracking stuff here at Tesla. We're hitting 96 kilowatts, 4 degrees C, 47. So half an hour to 90%. That's going to be more than enough to get me home and have a little bit extra for going out and charging tomorrow if needed. Because I've got that Cardiff to Bristol Airport on to do. So, yeah, I'm just going to head off and grab a cup of coffee. Sadly, having to pay full price because I couldn't get the BP chargers to work at BP Pulse. Okay, just a minute to go now and I'm hitting 90%, 4 degrees C. Give me about 220 miles, so things are warming up a little bit. 3.4 mile kilowatt efficiency. and that is going to work out at probably around £23.50 by the time it clocks off. So not too bad. Unfortunately, a little bit cheaper, even though it's still at 45 pence, a little bit cheaper than I have been paying for this morning. Well, look at all these new extra GridServe pumps chargers that have been put in over at Reading. I've noticed this recently. GridServe are really expanding their network. Sadly, at Reading, it's Tesla that needs to expand, because its Tesla is always full, because obviously 30%, 40% cheaper than GridServe. But good on GridServe for making the investment. It's just a shame, really, that nobody can afford to charge up there. Okay, so that's it. It's 20 to 5, which puts me right in the heart of the M4 rush hour. So hopefully I'll be back home in about 2 hours, with any luck. So that's my first long distance trip of 2025. And I think I might have pushed my luck a little bit there, but we would have done it anyway, even without that GridServe charge on the brake. But because of the impact on range and charging speed, for the foreseeable future, I'm going to have a maximum journey of 150 miles. I'm not going to do another 174 miles it was in total. So, not great pay on it, but I did get a nice tip, so thank you very much to the lady who's off to the sunny Mauritius for 10 days. And I hope she enjoys her paddle in the Indian Ocean, because she was going to go and swim with the dolphins and swim with the turtles. So I'm going to slowly edge my way home in rush hour M4 traffic. And thanks for watching. Till next time, take care, have a pleasant drive, and hopefully you'll make some money.